Hey, what's up everyone? I'm gonna do a video today about these, basically these vivid discoveries I feel I've been making about the newly discovered dwarf planets that were discovered around the 90s, the early 2000s. Dwarf planets like Haumea, Makemake or Makemake, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, Eris, Orcus, Ixion, if I didn't mention it, Quaoar. These dwarf planets are... I'm noticing some very strong effects from them. In the charts of multiple people that I've analyzed, and in transit. Historically in transit, and recently in transit. In outer planetary transit. I've developed basically a theory on the way these dwarf planets work, the way they can be activated, and what each one of them does. I think I have the groundwork kind of laid out for my theory of what each one does. I'm more or less advanced on each individual planet. Some I know more about, some I know less about. But we're going to have the chance to test this next month in September and see if, they actually do these crazy things that I think they do. So, we know how powerful Pluto is. Pluto is one of the most noticeable planets in astrology, in the solar system, If I want to prove astrology to someone, I'll be like, I'll look at their chart and tell them when their last Pluto transit was, and they'll be like, wow, something crazy did happen there. Pluto's one of the most noticeable planets in astrology. So, based on that, you would think that these planets are so small that they can't do anything, but size does not seem to matter, because there's something up with these planets. Pluto, it's surprising in many ways. There are these dwarf planets that are, they have just the craziest features. Like, Pluto is a binary system. The same face of Pluto faces Charon all the time. So Charon orbits around Pluto as it turns. Like this. This is the face of Pluto. This is Charon. The same face of Pluto faces Charon all the time. So it's just locked. As Pluto turns, Charon spins. There are weird physical properties of these dwarf planets. Haumea is a planet that spins so fast, it's elongated, like the star Altair. It's like a top. This planet Haumea, it's elongated. It's like, oval, because it spins so fast. It's like woo 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 woo. I think it makes an orbit I think it makes a full revolution, the planet spinning every 3 hours or something like that. That's what I read. I forgot what it was. That's Haumea. So these planets, I've been noticing the same common energy between mutual people with the same activations of these dwarf planets, and I've felt the same energy in transits. Last week, around Tuesday, Mercury conjoined Orcus. Orcus is a dwarf planet that's activated in my chart. It's conjunct my full moon, aligned with my full moon, and opposite my sun. And I believe that the only way to activate these dwarf planets are conjunctions and oppositions. Because, alright, so look, this is the plane of all planets. The dwarf planets are up here, or down there. They're not on the plane that all planets are on. So, a 120 degree angle is a trine, an 120 degree angle. But a 120 degree angle, a trine, is not a trine when the planet is not on this plane of the rest of the planets. So I believe only a conjunction, an alignment, and an opposition, of two of these dwarf planets, that's how to act. I mean, an opposition from one planet to a dwarf planet, or a conjunction. I think that's the only way to activate them, because it brings the energy to the ecliptic plane, and I believe it flows through the planet like a satellite, or like a a beam, what's something that receives beams of electricity, like a copper wire or something, you know? I think the energy flows through the planets like that, and some planets serve as something like a satellite for the dwarf planets. Because so far in my analysis, there have been many historical turning points of consciousness. What's an era of time where, you know about this historical era of time, and you're just like, why did everything change at this specific time? Why were there so many events that happened? Why did it feel so crazy? Just everyone at the same time, this time. I think that's because of this. I think this is the cause of that. In 1493, Uranus opposed Orcus. Uranus opposed Orcus, activated it. When planets like Neptune or Uranus oppose or conjoin activate the dwarf planets, it lasts a long time. It's a few years of activation of these planets solid, right? So in September, we're coming up on multiple eras of dwarf planet activations by large planets at once. And guess what else I figured out? Neptune activated Orcus from like 2012 to now, and it's going to continue even further. That's insane. The last time that happened was 1521, the year 1521. And historically, that would be considered a turning point in history, even if it wasn't for the analysis of this astrological angle. That was when the alleged discovery of America happened. You know, America had obviously been discovered first, but it was a beginning of a new era of travel. 1493, Uranus opposite Orcus, to 1520, Neptune opposite Orcus. That was the beginning of a new era of trade, global communication, and all that stuff. Around the year 2000, Uranus opposed Orcus like it did in 1493. And now, in 2012 to 2017 or so, Neptune is opposing Orcus, and it's another kind of transformation like that. And I know Orcus better than the energy of these other planets because I recently woke up to the fact that Orcus is aligned with my full moon and opposite my sun, activated fully. And then I realized that one of my best friends has the same aspects. Orcus is conjunct his sun in Leo, and his Mercury, it's fully activated. And then I realized this common denominator of energy between us. You know, like this common energy we have from Orcus. And then I felt Orcus in transit. I felt Mercury conjoin Orcus last week. And I felt this energy that feels like this energy that both me and my friend have within us. So, I've been doing these objective tests of these dwarf planets, and it's complicated, but I think there's something to learn here. And I just know how to learn it. You can't just believe anything you hear or jump to a conclusion and think that you can decipher the meaning of a complicated planet this easily. If this is a science, this is something that's real and tangibly analyzable, we gotta do it like that. So that's what I'm doing. And I think we can decipher the meaning of these dwarf planets, and hopefully it is as exciting as I think it is. Hopefully, with continued study into this, it's as exciting as I think it is. So I just like to explain that I'm going to go deep into these dwarf planets. If all goes well and these dwarf planets really do what I think they do, I'll probably write a book about them, because I think I'm stumbling upon some crazy shit right here. So, thanks for your support, everyone. Much love. Peace.